So, I've been thinking about the roadsides a lot lately. How about you? Do you ever think about the roadsides? You know, all that land surrounding the roads? If you do, great, I'm glad you're taking this survey. And if you don't, well, I'm still glad you're taking this survey. And don't feel bad. Most people don't spend a lot of time thinking about the roadsides either. But why not? Chances are, if you're like most people, you spend a fair amount of time on the roads, don't you? How many hours do you think you spend in your car each year, driving to and from work, or the grocery store, or chauffeuring your kids around? Whatever you do, it all adds up to a lot of time, doesn't it? What about all that stuff you're looking at? You know, the scenic part of your trip. The medians, the rest stops, the rights-of-way, all that land state departments of transportation hold in their hot little hands to accommodate our cars and the roads. Land that has to be maintained, kept free of trash, obstacles, invasive plants, mown. There's a lot that goes into the roadsides that you may have never even thought about. Did you know that the tiny little state of Delaware has over 10,000 acres of roadside right-of-way? 10,000 acres? Just to put that into perspective, 10,000 acres is equal to about 10,000 football fields, or nearly 1.5 times the landmass of Wilmington, the state's largest city. That's a lot of land, and it doesn't even include the roads themselves. It's just the stuff around the roads. How much money would you guess the Delaware Department of Transportation spent on mowing the rights-of-way last year alone? If you guessed over $3.4 million, then you guessed right. I don't know about you, but to me, 3.4 mil is a lot of money. We could cut that number in half by just changing the way we manage the roadsides. And how about all the carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons mowers release into the air we breathe? Surely there's something better we can be doing for the environment, and with all that money, than mowing the grass. Let's say, for argument's sake, we take some of that land out of mowing, and let those same workers focus on fixing a few potholes instead. Now, I'm not talking about letting the roadside go all wild and out of control. That would be messy and dangerous, and who really wants to look at that? What I'm talking about is changing the way we vegetate and manage the roadsides, making them beautiful and reflective of our local and native vegetation. Show off how pretty the first state really is. So what happens when you stop routine mowing? Well, eventually you get a mix of plants, including many natives, that provide habitat to and food for animals, such as birds, butterflies, and mammals. You see, a native insect feeds a native bird, who feeds a native fox, and so on and so forth. It's the food chain in action. Can't they just find something else to eat, you might wonder? Well, maybe not. You see, some species are called specialists, which essentially means that they're picky eaters. Without their normal meals, they're goners, and sadly, the end result may be the loss of something that we hold dear or necessary to our survival. Okay, I realize I might sound a little bit dramatic here, but stay with me for just a minute. You see, habitats, such as roadsides that aren't subjected to the constant pressures of mowing, are really important for the conservation of biodiversity. And by reducing mowing on the roadsides, we can increase our plant and insect species diversity. When roadsides are allowed to grow as meadows, they also provide food for bees, our most important group of pollinators. With 90% of our food crop pollination coming from a little bee, we simply can't afford to risk losing them. Mixed roadside vegetation also helps rainfall and snowmelt infiltrate into the soil and reduces erosion, far more efficiently than plain mown turf. Which plays a crucial role, especially when we get a lot of rain like we've had this spring and summer. Just last year, the United States National Research Council ID'd urban stormwater as a leading source of water quality problems in the U.S. You see, when all that excess water can't seep successfully into the earth, it runs off onto the roads, where it picks up petroleum and all those other nasty toxins out there on the roads, before ultimately, it all makes its way into our drinking water supply. However, with carefully vegetated roadsides, rain and snow can percolate safely into the ground, instead of carrying all those harmful pollutants right into our water supply. In fact, vegetation is the most cost-effective way to improve hydrology and control erosion, not to mention the most attractive too. Now, how about some safety reasons why planned roadside vegetation is such a smart idea? Did you ever notice how plants can shield headlight glare from oncoming traffic? And how about all those hard-working people trying to mow on steep and dangerous sites with cars and trucks whizzing by? Fortunately, this lucky guy didn't get hurt when his mower overturned. You know, that could have been a real disaster. Here's one you might not have thought of. Studies have shown shrubs can actually help absorb some of the kinetic energy from cars that run off the road. Pretty cool, huh? How about highway hypnosis? You ever hear of that one? It's really a term. Google it and see what you find. It's that fatigued feeling you get when driving long distances or along boring stretches of road, and all you want to do is close your eyes for just a few seconds. Well, interesting vegetation along the roadsides has actually been shown to reduce monotony and help drivers stay alert and focused. Makes sense, doesn't it? So, save money, make it prettier, safer, more environmentally responsible? Promote biodiversity? That's a lot of benefits, with just a change in the way we manage the roadsides. You know, when you stop to really think about it, it all starts to sound like a no-brainer. Now, I know I've just given you a lot of information to process in a short period of time, so now what? Well, now go ahead and take the short survey provided so that we can get your feedback on how you see the roadsides in Delaware. And the next time you're out on the road, wherever you live, take a minute to just stop and think about it.